guys, welcome back to TierSpec TV. Last weekend we dug this Land Rover 101 out of the barn and it has sort of accidentally now become a bit of a project. Yeah. So Nissa, can you tell us what you've been up to and what we're going to be doing?
What I've been up to for the last 2 days pretty much on off is figuring out where all that sound was coming from when we took it out last time.
It was quite loud.
It was very loud. Found out it was a water pump that was completely knackered, so we got a new one. Got the old one out, so today we'll be installing the new one. We got to flush a radiator and spray paint some bits and soundproofing and stuff, niceness things.
And if you haven't checked out the previous video where we actually got this car literally out of the barn, then go and do that, because we started it up after it hadn't been running or moving or anything for the best part of 10 or 15 years, and it seems to be going pretty smoothly so far, so we'll see how much progress we make today.
So this is where we're at now. Pulled out the water pump this morning. As you can see, it's not there anymore. Got all the bolts out. None of them were really rusty and stuff, so they're quite good condition. Got the radiator off. We're supposed to sit here, which also means we get really good access for all this stuff down here, all the wires and things. We do know the high and low gear lever cable here needs to get out and refreshed and then renewed. So we're going to pull that off, and we also know that the handbrake cable, which we actually fixed last time we had it out, but we got to turn one of the things down here the opposite way around, so it doesn't, like, the fork doesn't fit over the thing. It's just like that. Can't get it on, so we need to turn it and put it on. So we need to get that cable off and get that fixed. We need to flush the engine itself, which just means putting a hose in here, filling that water, and the water then spit out this hole down here. We get all the old stuff and gunk out, and then we got fresh new water in it and get all the rust out. So the cooling is going to be much better from now on. So that's really just the project for now and where we are at with it. Here we have the old water pump, and if you listen very carefully, that's not the sound it should be supposed to make. So it moves up and down like that, about 1 millimeter each way, which means the water probably came out from this bit here where the seal is, and then just spat water everywhere. That's also why.
Is that why we got wet last time?
Yeah, because like all the oil.
Or not wet, but we got oily last time.
It's like, yeah, wet oil. So we went out, got this one, brand new one from Fairmark, I'm pretty sure it was, and absolutely no sound whatsoever. So this one will be going on, and they are completely the same. I've checked it, and we got all the bolts here, which you'll be cleaning in a moment to get them nice and freshly looking. And some other parts and things we need to freshen up. I did break this thing trying to take it off, little chip here, but I know I can get a new one, but we're just going to try and fit it on, grind the edges here so it doesn't hit on the belt itself, and if it eats the belts we're just going to get a new one and change it. It's not that hard to do. Just a water pump is a proper bitch to do, said in a nice language. So we're going to move in now and look at the paint and the radiator, which are in here. The paint is drying. We're going to give it many layers of paint, because the last guy who did the painting was not very good at it. I'm not very good at it either, but I'm a bit better than he was, so we're going to try and save it as much as we can. And also, on a side note, this arrived in the mail yesterday, our new key rings. So we're going to take some and we're going to ship the rest over to England, where we then distribute them out to you who wants to get some Land Rover swag here, TierSpec TV swag. So that's pretty cool. So, onto that bit. If you know what that is, that's the center console. You've got the gear lever coming up here, from like that angle, and you drive steer it, and you've got your water here, and you've got your oil and a dipstick down here. Now, when I stripped it from paint, it looked like this. And what I did was first I took a sandpaper and just started sanding. That didn't do anything, because this is about 1 millimeter thick layer of some kind of plastic paint. So I then took a chisel and started chiseling it off to get down to the middle. But then I realized maybe I should heat it. So I just took a flame, started heating it, and then pretty much just scraped it off like it was some kind of, I don't know, cooking show. So I just scraped it all off. Took about 2 hours doing that bit, 1 hour doing that bit over there. But I was completely clean, and I sanded it, gave it a primer, sanded it again, gave it a primer, sanded it again. But you can still see you've got a lot of scarring and stuff from the old paint job. So if you should do it correctly, you need to sandblast the whole thing and get a professional to do it, but you know, it's gonna be, he looks like that. So we're gonna wait till we're gonna restore it completely if we do that. But right now it's just gonna be a fun vehicle, a 4x4, out in the forest kind of thing. So this is gonna do, and we got new soundproofing underneath it, the same size, just newer and better. So we're gonna be putting that on once it's all dried, and I'm happy with the paint job. And over here, next to QE, we got the radiator, which is actually in quite good condition compared to how long it's been sitting in here. We put some stuff into it just to get all the old gunk out. We're sitting the night over, just emptied this morning and put the new batch in. So we let this stay until we absolutely need to clean him, and we'll put him in. The other side is a bit more dirty than this one, but there isn't anything like huge marks, so it's not leaking or anything. So he's in good condition, because these ones are quite hard to get hold of. We did renovate the other one we have. We know a friend who renovates coolers, so we sent it out to him and he renovated it completely. But that one is in good condition, I would say. We can use that. So that's where we're at, and we should get cracking now, so we can get done by the end of the day, hopefully.
So Nissa is going to be cleaning and fixing this pulley part here, while over here I'll be cleaning up all these bolts with a wire brush. These all came off the water pump, right?
Yeah.
The front end of the engine.
The sound pumps. They're in really good condition. Stick him in here, open him out and wait till water comes out the other end. There you go, nice and clean for the first time in many years. I think these are different sizes. So right now, when we got the cool off and everything just completely clear down here, we're gonna take off the handbrake cable, which we just pulled out because we need to flip a thing on it, as I spoke about earlier. And we need to take this one off, which is the high-low cable, which is also completely rusted on, so we actually able to use the high and low from up here instead of having to go down and do it down on the handle. So right now we're just pulling them off, and then hopefully we'll be able to restore them. If not, we will get some new ones from the 101 parts store in England. But might as well try and see if we can use the old cables. Right now we're trying to get some more movement into the high-low range cable here, and we got some movement. What I'm thinking of now, we'll be able to pull out the middle bit here, which is the actual cable, pull that all the way through, clean it with sandpaper and put it back up again, but something stops it from going all the way out, from what I can hear. So I think we just have to keep going the same way we did before, changing the direction. Got the water pump on, just sticking in the bolts now, giving it some anti-seize lubrication compound, what's it called? Normally use it for aluminium, where it seizes on that, so pretty much just Loctite, a bit more advanced, and very good for it, so it goes in easier. So now it's just part of screwing in all the bolts, and after that tightening in a cross pattern. And then fan on, no, then radiator and fan on. No, first these things, bands on, that's it. So bands, radiator, bands, fans, shroud, radiator, done. And maybe also cable if we got to loosen up enough. Probably have to wait till tomorrow.
And while Nissa does that, I'll be giving these parts another layer of paint. started it up for the first time after replacing the water pump, and it is so much quieter.
You can easily speak now, still hear what we're saying.
And there's still sound insulation and an engine cover to go on top of that. In fairness, when the revs pick up, it's still fairly loud, but it's better.
Yeah, that's just the generator, I think.
It's the best kind of convertible to have. So cool. So even all the lights are working as well, back and front.
Yep.
So electrically it's good.
All light work.
All temperature's good.
Yep.
I hadn't noticed this until just now, but apparently this is Nissa's makeshift way of holding the air filter in, is with a block of wood and a cable tie. Seeing as this seems to be turning into a member of the TSPEC TV garage now, that it kind of needs a name.
Yeah.
So come up with your suggestions down in the comments on what you think it should be called. Remember when we started this like 3 or 4 years ago, we actually had the name Project 101. That was the title of the project, of us like sort of getting this thing running again. But it's a bit unoriginal. But we even had I made a title, an intro sequence for this project, Project 101. And that was, I think, even before we had the actual intro we have now.
Yeah, I think so.
So we won't be using that. But whether it should be Project 101 or something else, let us know what you think. So of course, to finish up today's work, we have to put some TSPEC TV stickers on it. And it surely has to be the first 101 in the world with some TSPEC TV stickers.
It sticks. No problem on it.
Things seem to be moving quite quickly on this. We've already on to our second episode. I think we're kind of afraid to dive into and call it a project. Yeah. But it basically is becoming a project, and next up is soundproofing the engine cover thing, and then putting that on. And then after that it's whatever we want. But we were just discussing that, was it in July, that event?
Yeah, it must be in July.
I think it was July, but sometime in the summer months there is a event happening down here at TSPEC with the Danish Land Rover Club, an off-roading day for classic Land Rovers, and we thought it would be awesome to take part in this. So our plan is to kind of, or our goal is to kind of have this ready for that and make sure everything works, tidy it up a bit and so on, so that we can use it for that whole day of off-roading, and then beyond that also perhaps get it road legal and put license plates on it. Because as we discussed in our latest episode of Garage Talk, it's actually pretty easy to do, despite its age and everything. Or cheap. It was what, how much did it cost?
I think it was 800 krona. We know a guy who has one on plates.
What, let's say £90, £100-ish
each
year to have this on the road, which, if you know Danish like tax and registration system, is very, very cheap relative to a modern car, because classic cars are actually very, very cheap to register and tax and everything in this country, weirdly. So there's not a lot that we think needs doing to actually have it road legal and have it pass its MOT so it can get license plate put on it. So that is going to be the next step and the next thing in this project. So there's not going to be anything too crazy. We're not going to restore it or modify it or anything like that.
We've already got that one.
We've already got like a restored one. So, and it's probably more money than we have, considering the Creeper is also coming along as well, or will be coming along. So that is that, and as we said, it is kind of becoming a project, and should it have a name? We have the Creeper and Project Bob, so should this have a name as well? We previously called it Project 101 when we originally started it many years ago, but whether it should have a different name, let us know. Let us know what you think down in the comment section below. But that is it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.